Space, a realm of infinite possibilities and infinite horrors. Humanity calls it the final frontier, but there are things out there, waiting, that should remain undisturbed. They are relics of a time before us, before our understanding of physics, life, or even reality itself. This is the story of one such discovery. Before we dive into this chilling tale, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more terrifying stories of horror, aliens, and the supernatural. The crew of the Peregrine was like any other team of explorers, bold and optimistic, seeking the new and uncharted. Their mission: to map unclaimed star systems, catalog habitable planets, and extend the reach of humanity's ambitions. But in their pursuit of knowledge, they stumbled upon something they were never meant to find: an ancient, cursed vessel adrift in the abyss. It began, as these things often do, with a signal. It was faint at first, barely distinguishable from the background radiation of space. A slow, steady pulse. "Captain," came the voice of Ensign Jacob Renfield, the youngest and most optimistic member of the Peregrine crew. "I'm picking up something unusual on long-range sensors." Captain Serena Mallory, seasoned but weary from years of uneventful missions, leaned over his console. On the screen, a jagged waveform pulsed with rhythmic precision. "It's not random," Jacob added, excitement rising in his tone. "Artificial, definitely. Stationary. About 30,000 kilometers from our current position." The crew gathered around, their curiosity piqued. Dr. Evelyn Cross, the ship's chief scientist, adjusted her glasses and frowned. "This sector is supposed to be barren. No colonies, no stations, no ships. So, what's broadcasting?" Serena straightened, her instincts bristling with a mix of caution and intrigue. "Alter course to Intercept," she ordered. "Let's take a look." As the Peregrine approached, the object came into view. A massive starship, blackened and lifeless, drifting silently in the void. Its surface was a patchwork of scars, etched by eons of debris collisions and cosmic radiation. "It's huge," murmured Lieutenant Marcus Vega, the ship's security officer, his normally stoic demeanor faltering. The alien vessel's design defied human conventions. Its structure was both geometric and organic, with angular protrusions that gave way to smooth, almost flesh-like curves. A faint, pulsing light emanated from cracks in its surface, like veins glowing under diseased skin. "No markings," Vega continued. "No insignias, no registry. Whatever it is, it's not one of ours." Dr. Cross spoke softly, as though the ship might hear her. "This thing could be older than humanity itself." Serena's voice cut through the growing tension. "Prep the boarding team. We're going in." The airlock hissed as the Peregrine docked with the alien vessel. A team of 5, led by Serena, stepped into the unknown. Their flashlights cut through the oppressive darkness, illuminating a corridor lined with strange metallic carvings. The walls were unlike anything they'd ever seen, shifting subtly under the light. The engravings looked almost alive, like they were watching, waiting. "Keep close," Serena said, her voice steady despite the gnawing unease spreading through the group. The air inside was stale but breathable, carrying a faint metallic tang. The ship felt abandoned, yet not. Every footstep echoed too loudly. Every shadow seemed to move just out of sight. "This place," Vega muttered, gripping his sidearm tightly. "It feels wrong." The bridge, when they found it, was vast and cathedral-like. At its center sat a figure, humanoid but undeniably alien. It was tall and gaunt, its pale, blue-tinged skin shimmering faintly in the dim light. Its eyes, black and reflective, absorbed the crew's flashlight beams like bottomless wells. I mean you no harm," the creature spoke, its voice resonating not through sound but directly in their minds. The crew froze. Humanity's first encounter with extraterrestrial life, and it was this: an otherworldly being on a dead ship, its gaze piercing and unblinking. Serena stepped forward cautiously. "Who are you?" "I am Captain Solen," it replied. "This ship is my home. My crew, they are gone. A catastrophic failure left me stranded. For centuries, I have waited, Dr. Cross's curiosity burned through her fear. "You've been here alone? All this time?" The alien inclined its head. "Yes, now you have found me. Perhaps you can help." The crew worked tirelessly, guided by Solen's instructions. Power conduits were reconnected, consoles rebooted. The ship groaned with unnatural life, the faint glow in its veins growing stronger. But the deeper they delved into the ship, the stranger things became. Renfield was the first to vanish. One moment, he was recalibrating a terminal. The next, his comms went silent. When the others searched, all they found was his toolkit, left behind as though he'd been plucked from existence. "Maybe he got lost," Cross suggested, though her voice was shaky. "This place is messing with us?" Vega growled, his hand never leaving his weapon. Then Vega disappeared. His rifle was found near a vent, bent and twisted like a child's toy. "Captain," Cross whispered, her breath shallow. "This ship, it's alive. It's watching us." Solen's voice, calm and disarming, echoed from the shadows. "You are simply unfamiliar with its nature. There is no danger here." But Serena knew better. In their desperate search for answers, Serena and Cross stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the ship. The walls were lined with translucent pods, each containing a figure, some human, others alien. Their faces were frozen in expressions of agony, their mouths open in silent screams. "They're alive?" Cross whispered, her trembling hands brushing against a pod's surface, or something close to it. "Their neural activity is off the scale." Serena's stomach churned. "What is this place?" A voice, cold and mocking, answered from the darkness. "My crew." Solen emerged, his form gliding unnaturally. His eyes burned with malice now, his once kind demeanor stripped away. "You've seen too much," he said, his voice reverberating like a death knell. Solen was no mere alien captain. He was a wraith, bound to the ship, feeding on the souls of those who boarded. The ship was his prison and his predator, luring the curious and the lost into its embrace. One by one, the remaining crew fell. Solen toyed with them, whispering their deepest fears, twisting the ship's corridors into endless labyrinths. In her final moments, Serena understood the truth. This was not a ship. It was a curse, a relic of a forgotten era, doomed to drift through space for eternity, claiming the souls of all who crossed its path. The Peregrine's distress signal was eventually intercepted, but the ship itself was empty. The logs ended abruptly, with no explanation for the crew's fate. Far away, the alien vessel continued its journey through the void, its ghastly glow beckoning to the next victims. Inside, Solen sat upon his throne, a faint smile on his lips, as new voices began to echo through the halls. And so, the Eternal Warship drifts on, a monument to horror, a trap for the curious, and a grim reminder that in the vastness of space, some mysteries are better left unsolved. Would you dare to board the Eternal Warship? Or would you heed the silent warnings of the void and turn away? Let us know if you think you'd survive.